Hey you lot, this is my latest version of the FTX Outlaw. I've done a couple of bits that you might be interested in. Here we go. Right, something that I noticed about the Outlaw is that you tend to jump it and break things, and this sort of annoys me because I've also broken stuff. So I invented this. This here, actually this whole thing here is from an FTX Canyon, and it's the rear wheel steer module. And normally you'd have a servo here, but in this case you don't need a servo. But what it does do is, if you hit something really hard, and I'm gonna force this, it lets you bend, and you can hit stuff and do jumps and things, and there's quite a lot of force involved in that, and it will protect these linkages. It's going to protect where it bolts to the chassis. And the other thing about it is, if we come down here to the side, you're going to see I've reverted to the anti-lift geometry. So basically, as the car goes forward, it lifts up and it stops this wheel coming up in the air, and it really does work. And also having the shocks at this angle gives you a nice bit of plushness, actually, because the closer this pivot and that pivot, the softer the ride. And something else you might notice is that on the Outlaw, normally this linkage here would be up here on a bit of plastic I cut away, but it just looks neater down here, doesn't it? Don't you think? And it works really good. Also, I've tucked the drive shaft away. I've raised it. I raised it with this. So this thing does lots of stuff. It's actually moved these points about 10mm further forward. And what that's done is, it's actually rotated the whole suspension geometry backwards. And it lifted the prop shaft. So it's there we go. So we're on the carbon fibre. We've got the nice motor cooler. We've got the battery pack spread out this way. We've got the speed controller up here, out of the way of water and stuff. And the battery used to be here. In fact, the whole back of the car used to come out here and get in the way. This lets me run the Carnage or the Bugster body shower, and as a result, I'm actually running rear shock absorbers from a Carnage, but on the front, and obviously I've got my revised geometry, which you'll see here. That when you push down, unlike from the factory, on the factory the wheels will go outwards, which is pretty terrible. On here, the wheels come inwards. So I think that's about all I've got for you tonight. Anyway, have a good one.